Welcome to the show, fellas. Welcome to Up with Jaffe. I appreciate you being here. It's nice to see everybody. Let's get the camera going here. There we go. I think that's working. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Split Fry says the music is way too good vibes. Yeah, the thing about that music is obviously it's AI music. But you know, I mean, we're getting to the point, man. We're getting to the goddamn point where, right? I mean, let's put it this way. Hello, Bunny. Always you're welcome, Bunny. You never have to ask if you want to jump on. We're getting to the point, like, you know, my generation of gamers and a little bit younger are like, oh, we want physical media. We want to own our games. And the younger generation that came up after my kids and things like that, they don't really care. They don't care about owning Fortnite. They don't care that there's no disc to put in a box to put on their wall. I think it's going to be the same with AI. The fact that we're listening to this AI music, and it's pretty good for what it is. It does the job of pop music, which is just fills the space and has some nice background. And, you know, it's the way of the world, baby. It's the way of the goddamn world. And Google, we'll talk about in a little bit, announced their new AI suite of tools yesterday, which is pretty fucking cool when it comes to text to video. It's I don't know what I would have done. Maybe I would have realized sooner than later I was not a filmmaker. But if I would have had the ability that Google Gemini 3 allows, I would have just sat at home all summer long and made movies, and it's crazy. And what I'll show you in a little bit is amazing. It's mind-blowing. Anna in the chat says the natural cause and effect of AI will push people more towards authentic. That's where the real money will end up being. I don't agree with you. I certainly think, Anna, there will be money in people supporting authenticity, whether it's because of moral standing or because they actually can tell a difference. I think your mileage will vary on that, but I certainly think you're right that there will, but I don't think that will be the main source of money. I think history shows that low barrier of entry, ease of use, and good enough and cheap is always more financially successful. But if you're talking about intrinsic value, sure, you're probably right. You're probably right. Normies won't know the difference, says Johnny Graphics. Lots of potential for unethical content creation. Yeah, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. Yeah, Gaz says it's like buying handmade stuff. You pay more for that. Right. And there are people that like have a wonderful handmade, one-of-a-kind, handcrafted, I don't know, purse or pair of shoes or whatever. And that's great. And those people who make those with heart make a good living. But the majority of people are fine going to Amazon and getting, you know, Dickies t-shirts for $15 and not really thinking about it. Jaffe, says Clinton, thoughts on the universe being on the inside of a black hole. It's a possible theory going around, and other black holes contain other universes. I've seen the headlines. I haven't looked into it, but I will add that right now to the list of topics for Madhouse tonight, because that definitely sounds like a Madhouse topic. Black hole. I'll do a little research on that. I have absolutely seen that. I have a friend in a band whose manager has them using AI. Yeah, why not? Why not? But anyway, you know, I hear you. I hear you. Now everybody's into it, and that's cool. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Up with Jaffe. This is the show where I don't really spend too much time preparing the news. I just examine it and explore it and encounter it fresh with you motherfuckers. It's good to be here. We will be doing all of that in just a few minutes. Breaking news, Tech Protect is coming home. Tech Protect is parting ways with the LCU. It's happening as we speak. He's doing his final official show over there. You know, it's interesting because I was over there briefly and I saw some narrative talking about, oh, Tech, you know, you're again, I'm not his father-in-law. I wouldn't have a problem being his father-in-law, but that's not, you know, that's not our relationship, and that's not up to me. And I want my daughter to be happy, and I'd like Tech to be happy, and that's really up to those guys. But regardless of that, Yeah, Bunny says we won the custody battle. Well, regardless of that, though, I said to Tech and I said to him today, it's like, look, I want you to do well for yourself. I want you to be happy. I definitely think you can bring a lot of great things to wherever you are. Certainly at the LCU, certainly here, but there was absolutely no pressure on our end. I mean, he may have felt pressure, but Bunny can vouch. I mean, I was just like, dude, if you want to go be there full time, go be there full time. I was a little bit, it was difficult to understand the working relationship when he had a foot in both camps. Not because I was offended by it, but it was like, dude, like he would leave our show Madhouse 30 minutes before it ended sometimes to go do Aussie. And it's like, okay, that didn't feel right. Right. Or Keemstar asking him where your loyalty lies. That doesn't really feel like right. But if he wanted to go over there, he would have my total support. And he knows that. So Bunny and I only learned about it today. We woke up and he sent us a text saying, okay, my resignation show is happening in a few minutes, because I was just getting up, and we're like, what? So I haven't really talked to him about what the impetus was for him to walk away, but Broccoli Monster says Keem was never going to let him have two masters for long. He wants full-on loyalty. The real problem I have, honestly, because I was watching a little bit of the show and I saw Keemstar call in and stuff, and what's a real fucking shame to me is, even though I do have issues with certain things that Keemstar says and has done, my experience with the guy was 99% positive. And it's, even though I'm glad we have our show over here now and we parted ways mostly good, it's a real shame that it had to end that way with he and I, because I respect a lot of his vision for internet stuff and streaming stuff. And, it was a real shame that whatever, I will continue until I hear otherwise to think that the reason they canceled Madhouse was not because Keem wanted to cancel Madhouse, but because his current fiance, Brantley, whatever, got in his head and was like, this is bad. You have to fix this. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? He's about to get married to the lady. So I get it, but that's what I think happened. Jaffe, have you played Days Gone, says Red Harlow. I did. I almost, I don't know how far I got into it. I played for like 30 hours and I loved it on PS5. I plan on getting the remake sometime soon. And I will say, well, I didn't say she had a small vagina opening. That was somebody else saying it, and I was just listening. I'm not going to relitigate it. It is what it is. You know what happened if you don't look it up or ask me for a link. Bigger point, though, as to Days Gone. I really liked what I played. As I told John Garvin, the director, I think it was too heavy on the cutscenes, but, that's me. But I thought it was excellent. I just loved it. And I did play it on the PS5, which means I didn't have to deal with what I hear was a very buggy launch. So a lot of people who kind of hate on it, their experience was kind of a launch window PS4 game. But no, I played it on PS5 and I thought it was great. Speaking of, by the way, I don't know if you caught it, our interview with Shuhei Yoshida, the ex-head of Worldwide Studios, is currently up and available for your perusal if you are a Diet Soda Soldier member or above on this very channel. That's what it looks like right there. It will be available for everyone to watch for free in about 2 to 4 weeks. But I loved this conversation we had yesterday. She was open. He looked great. He had a lot of energy. He was very willing to go to places. He asked me some fun questions. I very much enjoyed it. I hope you give it a shot when you get a chance. But that's up right now. Also, I've been thinking, a lot of you guys know who watch the show a lot, that I've been playing fewer video games lately. I've been playing a lot of games, but they've been the same. And I just kind of needed a break. In the last couple of days, it's been calling me back to play more, and so I'm excited about that. I'm excited to play. There's even that new game from the guys who made Metroid Dread, who did the Castlevania games, is coming out. So again, Up with Jaffe is not a game-centric show. I'll talk about whatever, but what I will tell you is I definitely want to have some kind of gaming presence on this channel. But with tech coming back now, we can start to kind of figure out what the other shows are going to be and how they're going to flesh themselves out. Because I do want to start playing some more games and kind of getting back into it. It was nice to take a break, I guess is what I'm saying. Here's where I won't be playing games, though, is Saturday at noon. Because, as you may know, the Canty Madhouse 12-hour horror film festival kicks off at noon California time on, what's that day called? Saturday. So far, we've filled out 2 of our movies. We have filled out Martyrs, which is the 2008 very polarizing motion picture show. I think it's about these girls who get... I just watched the trailer. I have never seen it. It looks like it's a little bit of torture porn, but it's also got some pathos and really interesting, stuff about... It's like about something. It's not just like watching Hostel, which is nothing wrong with that either. Shaun of the Dead is on there. The third movie will be decided today on this very stream. It is going to be between Hereditary and once we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, once we get 5 more films on this wheel will spin and go up against Hereditary for the third slot. If you want to put a movie or the same movie, you can vote for the same movie over and over. It'll cost you $5. So if you want to say, if you see the movie Scream up there and you want that on the thing 5 more times, then you pay $50 or $5 for once or whatever. So this is happening today. So if you want to donate to the show and support the show, we would appreciate it. It helps the channel grow, helps us pay people, helps us keep doing what we love to do and what we hope you love us doing. And it'll let you have a say in the film festival. Everybody's welcome to the film festival. It's coming up Saturday on the Discord, is what I will say. I loved Hereditary too, Screamer. I would say about that, the first, I'm not going to speak too much about it.
Rocker Matt has just
Un
donated $10
momento.
through Super
Thank you,
Chat.
Rocker Matt.
2 more for the wheel to keep things interesting. Deathgasm and the Devil's Rejects. Also great interview with Shu. Need to get more guests on here.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate the great suggestions. Deathgasm is a really fun movie. And they're making a sequel and a video game coming out. The Devil's Rejects is the Rob Zombie film. I don't know if I've seen that one, but it's on there. The Devil's Rejects right there. Boom. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate that. Thank you for watching the Shu interview. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was great to talk to Shu. And I always like doing interviews, but I got to be interested in the person. A lot of people are like, why don't you interview this guy from this game company? And it's like, Shu and I had a lot of interesting, in my opinion, things to talk about. But just like, hey, so what was your inspiration for this fucking game? Who gives a shit? Go watch. You can get that in a million places. But if it's somebody genuinely interesting, I would absolutely love to bring them on the show. Reanimator, I'll tell you what.
Broccoli Monster Flying Saucer has just donated £5 through Super Chat. Thanks, pal. Reanimator made in 1985.
You goddamn right. Thank you so much, Broccoli Monster. Reanimator, I've only seen it once, and boy, I'm not going to spoil anything, but that scene with the head scene, boy, that's a good movie. It's a lot of fun. Thank you, buddy, for that. It's on the wheel. Handsome Grim says, I passed my board exams. Well, congratulations, Handsome Grim. Everybody give Grim a sassy little fetus in the emotes to congratulate him, and I'm going to make a song for him. Dear Handsome Grim, where do I begin? I've known you since you were wee. You stepped up to the plate. You said you'd be great. Well, I was thinking, maybe I have to pee. The point is, congratulations for passing your board exams, whatever that means. I don't know if you're going to be a lawyer, a doctor, regardless. Congrats, buddy. It sounds like a big deal.
Red Harlow has just donated $5 through Super Chat. Thanks, pal. Gotta have the devil's rejects.
Absolutely. Oh, Anna, I should have used that. Weed. I should have used that rhyme. Red Harlow, thank you. We got the devil's rejects is up there again. So now it doubles its chances. I think that's the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only one more and we'll spin the wheel and we'll see what the third movie is. Scott, my nephew, says Troll 2, best worst movie, corresponding documentary. I don't know if I saw Troll 2. I saw Troll 1. Why am I the Mel Gibson of video games? I'm not like a racist son of a bitch. What are you talking about? But anyway, also, I got to let you know, Bunny was trying to front yesterday and talk about, she's going to be making her popcorn with marshmallow glaze. And that sounds pretty good. But if you tune into Madhouse tonight, 6 o'clock California time, 9 o'clock Eastern time, I will be showing you my original Whirly Pop popcorn popper that's coming in the mail today. I'll be making popcorn for tomorrow's Movie Fest with this and with the popcorn coconut oil. That's what makes the popcorn beautiful and yellow. And with Flavacol, that's what makes the popcorn at the movie theater taste like movie theater popcorn. So, I'm excited. John Doe says, talk bad about Jews once. I can't really put a whole group of people. Are you asking me to say something negative about the Jewish religion? And if that's the case, I'm sure I could find something. Like I can find something about any religion. Could you guide me a little bit in your anti-Semitism and tell me what exactly you're looking for? I aim to please. Yeah, Handsome says, no, not the Mel Gibson. I mean the Mozart of video games. Oh, John Doe says, no, I'm talking about Mel Gibson. Oh, I see. Okay, well then you're not anti-Semitic. You get a pass. You know who else gets a pass? Kanye West. Kanye West came out today. Look how prepared I am. You guys have to be impressed. Or you don't. I don't really care. I kind of do care. I wouldn't have said anything. Kanye West came out today, and here's what he says. He says, you know what? I'm done with anti-Semitism. It's kind of like eating a meal and going, would you like some more lasagna? No, I'm done. I just like that. It's like, I've had my fill of hating the Jews, says Kanye. He tweets 3 things today. I think he's done. I mean, look, the first thing he tweets is, I am done with anti-Semitism, and using punctuation, clearly. Then he says, I love all people. And then he says, God, forgive me for the pain I've caused. Now, look, I don't give a shit. Kanye West, I'm sure if you are a music aficionado, you will look at his music and you can, wax poetically about all of his, life of Pablo and this and that and the other. And I'm sure it's great. But I loved Graduation. I love College Dropout. There were a few songs right after, like Power, when he did Watch the Throne with Jay-Z. And since then, he's kind of gone into the territory, not of him being crazy or not, but just of music that feels more experimental, which again, if you are into that kind of, appreciation of music as an art form, I totally get it. But for me, who just likes kind of pop music and pop rap, I was like, yeah, I was done with him kind of after My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I saw him in concert. I thought he was great. It was kind of weird, but he was great. Anyway, but that's the movie festival that's coming up this weekend. By the way, let's see. Anna says, anti-Semitic is so incorrect. It has more to do with linguistics. Arabic is a Semitic language, Aramaic, etc. Okay, well, people say anti-Semitic, but anti-Jews, whatever, however you want to say it. People are now joking and saying the Jews got to him on the internet. Again, maybe the reason I push back so hard against anti-Semitism, other than it just being awful and wrong and stupid, is because as a guy who was raised Jewish, even though I wasn't Jewish since I was 7, I kind of seem like all these things that a lot of these haters say about the Jews, I'm like, well, I didn't get any of that. Where's all my fucking money and power and influence? And, certainly my dad didn't get any of it. My mom didn't get any of it. What are you talking about? You fucking think, you fucking think my video game company would have been canceled or or gone out of business if the Jews controlled everything? Give me a break. Give me a break. Okay. Yeah, MK Ness says I'm a Jew that didn't get the memo either. No, I didn't. I had a bar mitzvah, but that was for my parents who were doing it for their parents. I didn't believe in any of it probably ever, but I certainly was out of it full on when I was 7. And I made that clear to everyone, including the rabbi. But, my parents still wanted me to go to Sunday school, so I went. I made life hell for those people there. But, they said stupid things. They wouldn't answer my questions about God and the universe and everything. What do you want from me? Don't fucking sit there and tell me how things are. And then when I ask for proof, or I ask for evidence, or I ask for explanations, they can't say anything. Shut up. I'm not doing it. I'm not playing your reindeer games. No, thank you. Anyway, welcome back to the show. It's good to see you. Look, I want to tell you something. Now, I am very excited about our film festival this weekend. I am not as excited, but almost as excited to see Mission Impossible in the theaters. I will be going to see it either Sunday or Monday night. I'm going to go with Calvin. I am super jazzed for it. And speaking of popcorn, I think out of all the popcorn buckets that we've seen, because, it's the, Wolverine, Deadpool. There's been funny ones, and there were a thing, blah, blah, blah. But the Mission Impossible one may just take the cake, at least in Japan. I don't know if it's going to be available in America, but look at this. I don't know if you've seen this. Look at this fucking thing. This is the Mission Impossible popcorn bucket. I don't think there's sound. You open it. You have to quote solve the puzzle. I'm sure some people won't be able to get it. It's like, I don't know how to open the popcorn bucket. Mary, help me. But it's pretty great. Jurassic Park one, the new one. And it's got lights and everything. Come on now. That's pretty good. That shit's pretty good. So let me look at the Jurassic Park one. Is there a new Jurassic this summer? I think there is, right? I lost track of those movies. Popcorn bucket 2025. Here we go. Here's the new Jurassic Park popcorn bucket. Oh my. That's pretty. There's a dinosaur inside? There's a little dinosaur inside? That's pretty great. Oh man, Jurassic Park Rebirth. Okay. I kind of fell out of all of those. The F1 bucket. Oh shit, let's look up the F1 bucket. F1 movie popcorn. Now seriously, we talk about this a lot, about things that you can collect. These are going to be things that are probably worth a lot of money in 20, 30 years from now. Here's the F1 popcorn bucket. Let's see. Little F1 helmet. That's okay. Not bad. I don't like it as much. The other one's not bad, though. Nobody has Terrifier 1, 2, or 3 on the wheel. You can put whatever you want on the wheel, as long as it's a horror movie. Rob the Mod says, my theater is poor. We don't get all this. Does the theater have to pay? I guess they do, right? You have to pay extra to get it, and then you charge more for it, and then that's where you make your money. Yeah, somebody's got to pay for it, right? MK Ness says, my mom did a hard pivot to Catholicism and then Christianity at a young age, but I know my heritage, and I don't really care about religion or the religions. Yeah, I don't, doesn't really, Lunacore says, dolphins will be choking on these for generations. I mean, they probably will. All right, don't forget, one more $5 dono. Get a motion picture show on the wheel. That's what we're talking about. And then we'll see what's competing against Hereditary. That's what we'll do. All right, let's move forward. In the meantime, though, let's see what's on the news. I got some stories I do want to talk about, but I want to see if there's anything that happened recently. Hello, Lawnmower fan. It is nice to see you. I think we should talk about Cyrax from Mortal Kombat 3. I don't know what you mean. I must not know. That must be something else, correct? Not that Cyrax. Jesus didn't come for everyone. Harsh truth. John Doe, we don't care, or I don't care. If you really want to talk religion, call into the show. I'll put you on the show. We'll talk about it. Otherwise, shut up. What are you talking about? I mean, I love you. You're my best friend. But what? Just, let's talk. But don't just be sniping in the chat, baby. How have I been? I've been pretty good. I did say motion picture. In fact, Peachy Pie, I said motion picture show. MK Ness says movie theaters pay 30% of the MSRP of the merch, and it's a negotiation between the theaters. Typically only get about 10% of ticket sales. Right. Cyrax the Lolcow Goblin. I have no idea who it is, so I don't know anything. P comes from the vagina, says Bukaki. Okay, it comes from the area, but what I'm saying is, let's just say this. A lot of men seem very confused about the anatomy of that particular part of a woman, the specifics of it. But I mean, I've been married, so I don't know. I don't know if I knew this stuff before I got married. I don't know anything about Cyrax. Okay. Let's see. Supreme Court blocks creation of nation's first religious charter school. Good. I got no issues with religious schools, but I don't want to pay for them. And they probably don't want to pay for my shit, for my agnostic ass. And nor should they have to. And let me tell you something else real quick about this Drudge Report page here. I am not, as you can tell by the way I'm dressed, and I always dress the same because it's easy. I'm not a fashion guy. I've never really cared about fashion. I don't want to spend the money, spend the time. Means nothing to me. But I will say, this is a pretty good look for Diddy. He looks like a fucking Batman character. Look at this guy. I don't know if it's going to show it, but in that suit there with the green suit, let me see if I can get a full picture. Diddy, green emerald suit. I don't know. I've never seen that before. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Not this. The thing I just had on Drudge, this thing right here. Look at this goddamn thing. Look at that. That's cool, man. I dig that. I couldn't pull off the look, but he looks like a superhero kind of thing, right? The Diddler. Oh, man, Jordan, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. Okay, MK Ness and Bunny Button say vaginas are not real. Okay, fair enough. Peach Pie says you talk like my grandpappy. Okay, well, I'm 54. I don't know how old your grandpappy is, but yay, I suppose. What else we got going on today? You ever come across this site? It's mostly bullshit because all it is terrible ads and the reading experience is awful. But as I continue to search the internet with my friend the Internet Hobo for topics, I do find myself returning to this one more and more because, they're pretty good at writing headlines. They're pretty good at making you go, well, I want to click on that. Like here, Jodie Sweden, who was my, I kind of liked her, and John Stamos, off-screen relationship revealed. Now, my guess is there was no romantic hanky of the panky going on. But I think they wrote the headline that way. This is probably what it means is something more like, he was like a father figure to her. But let's just click it and find out. I'm almost certain these people did not date. Hello, KD. Let's see. Yeah, soul sisters in a bigger family. This is what I'm saying. Do not tell me that they did not write this headline to make you think there was some kind of relationship going on. Because she says, when they weren't acting as Sweden's father and uncles, the three actors took them under their wing and the bond remained ever since. There's no sex there. There's nothing salacious, Dan Schneidery going on there at all. And that's good because that would have been really bad. But the headline can go fuck itself. Celebrity deaths. All right, I dropped the chat. I didn't mean to. Let me bring it back up so I can see what you guys are talking about. Celebrity deaths, my friends, that no one's talking about, it says, which, makes me sad. Why won't they talk about these people? Where'd the chat go? I can't see the chat, man. Hang on. I'll be right back with you, folks and folkekies. 1 second. Where is the tech? There we go. Sorry, guys. Pop out chat. There we go. All right. Here we go. Let's see if we have actually heard of these deaths. I don't know. Uncle Jesse is hot, says Bud Crazy. I've told this story many, many times, but it's because it really stuck with me, which is I saw John Stamos in real life in Disneyland, and he's one of him and the woman he was with, and it wasn't Rebecca Romaine. I don't know who it was. It was the first time I saw people in real life that looked as good as they looked in magazines and TV. Like, it's like, okay, you couldn't claim that was airbrushing. You couldn't claim that was lighting and camera angles. They were, objectively speaking, beautiful people on the planet. And I was like, holy shit, people come out of the oven that way, you know? Bud Crazy says, Papa Jaffe, I had you all going last night. Well, I mean, you didn't have us going. You said somebody said something that upset you and made you sad and you left. I mean, I think the normal human response for someone you consider a online person you like is, well, that's not good. I mean, is that having us going? That's like saying, oh man, I cut my arm off. And somebody says, oh, I'm so sorry about that. And you're like, I had you going. Anyway, celebrity deaths nobody noticed. All right, well, let's see what that's about. Oh, shut up, Bunny. Come on now. Nobody noticed Natasha Richardson. We kind of did. That was Liam Neeson's wife. Nobody noticed Richard Griffiths. I don't even know the fuck that is, so I guess they're right. Lisa Robin Kelly. Maybe it's because they're using the word celebrity a little too loosely. I don't know who the fuck that is. I guess she was in the 70s show. Harold Ramis, of course, Ghostbusters, great comedy legend of the 70s and 80s. I knew he died, but probably a lot of people didn't. James Avery. Was that the guy on the Fresh Prince? That was the, right? That's the guy on the Fresh Prince show, the Uncle Phil or whatever. Marcia Wallace. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. Of course, Michael Clark Duncan. He was in God of War 2. He did a voice for God of War 2. Heather O'Rourke, little girl in Poltergeist. I told you guys I went to college with the guy who was the little boy in Poltergeist. And we always made fun of him. I mean, he was great. He still is great. But we would always say, you're next, because the teenage daughter died and then the little girl died, and he was the only surviving Poltergeist kid. So it was fun to poke at him and say, oh, you're going to die next, Oliver. So, that was a lot of fun. I saw CeeLo Green at a convention. He's a total prick. $500 for an autograph and picture, says Xylie's Dirty Drawls. Here's what I'll say about CeeLo Green, or any of those people. Like, now, I don't even know how to say this without sounding like a douchebag, because I'm not suggesting anybody would want to ever pay for my autograph, but like maybe in a game-centric convention they would, okay? I know where I am. I don't aspire to be someone that gets their autograph asked for, but there have been times in my life and my career where I get asked for my autograph. Okay. And I understand that if you can make a living, or you can make a big chunk of your living going, hey, I'll charge you, I'll give you an autograph and I'll spend 10 minutes talking with you and it'll cost you $15. I guess, if the fan gets what they want and the guy gets paid or the girl gets paid, it does seem a little weird though, right? It does seem a little weird that it's like, I guess you're at least open and acknowledging, like those fan conventions where you go and they have the thing they printed out at Kinko's behind them of all the shows they've been in. And it's like, look, I'm not a big superstar. I'm not worth $50 million or Taylor Swift money, but, I can pull with autographs and show appearances, paying on my past glories. I can make, $70K a year. That's probably not bad. It's probably not bad, but I don't know. I wouldn't pay for an autograph. I don't think I would, because it would be meaningless, right? It would be meaningless. It's like, okay, I've got someone's name on a piece of paper that I paid for. The one thing I like when they say, why Richard Gere? will not sign autographs or take selfies. He says, I won't do that. And at first people were saying, oh, he's an asshole. And he says, no, I'm not an asshole. He says, when somebody comes up to me and asks for an autograph, what I will say is, I will stop. I will look them in the eye. I will say, I see you. I acknowledge you. I give you 30. He doesn't say I'll give you 30 seconds, but he says, I'll give you 30 seconds of my time. Because really what he thinks a real fan wants is just a connection with somebody that worked on something they care about. But then you get into the signing and the selling of the signing and all this shit, and you got to pay for it. I don't know. Now, in the chat, Jay Styles says, I paid for Nolan North's autograph, and he took a bunch of photos with me. Dope dude. It was only $20. Yeah. I mean, I imagine if I was younger and I hadn't met a lot of these people, like if I had never met Spielberg, I probably would pay money for a picture with Spielberg. But not anymore, of course. The only autograph I paid for says Xylie's Dirty Draws. It was a picture of David Naughton from the Dr. Pepper TV ads. I don't know who that is. Was that the guy was that the black bald guy? The Dr. Pepper David Naughton, is this the... Oh, no, I'm thinking of the guy who did the 7-Up things. It says, never had it, never will. He was in Annie, the movie back in the day. It doesn't matter. Yeah, Bud Crazy and DJ says, consider a membership here on the show. We have 2 shows here. We have Up with Jaffe, and we have, Madhouse at 6 o'clock tonight. Also, remember, if you spend $5, you get a movie on the wheel. We are literally one motion picture show title away. And it can be a repeat if you want to up its chances. So we can spin the wheel and it can go head to head against Hereditary, and we can see what the third movie is going to be for this Saturday on the Canty Canty Madhouse 12-hour horror stream. You know what? Bunny... What you got to be, you know what, Bunny and Bukkake, please both report to the Madhouse studio if you have time. I would love for you to come in for a brief moment. I have to talk to both of you on the air, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, the flirting that's happening in the chat right now, I need to address. I need to address it, and I also have to ask Bukkake a very serious question. While we're waiting for them to decide if they want to partake in the shenanigans, oh, Joker, those puzzles were great. I will probably be doing more puzzles live on stream. I played a game last night on Discord called Puzzle for Friends or something, and I love online jigsaw puzzles. What am I? Okay, Bunny's here. Hello, Bunny.
Hello, Jaffe.
How's life, champion?
Good.
Are we getting a camera right now or not right now?
Not right now.
Okay, and there's Bukkake. Bukkake, are we getting a camera? Hold on. He doesn't give a shit. Bukkake's a rebel. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody. There he is. Are you out? Are you out digging under the homes?
I'm in a casino parking lot right now.
Okay, so 2 quick questions. What is with this flirting with you and Bunny? Is this a real thing? Because this could be like Fanto says, this could be the first Madhouse marriage. Bunny, now you have a chance
obviously, dude. What do you think?
I don't know. Bunny, you have a chance now to see Bukkake. Is this someone that you would like to make a life and a home with? And,
Absolutely.
Really?
Now more than ever.
Now, you're going to upset a lot of parasocial fans out there, Bunny, but that's how much you love this guy. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Okay. What is it about him that you love, besides the fact that I think he has fangs? I don't really know if that's what I'm looking at.
Ectoplasm Arcade has just donated 10 Canadian dollars through Super Chat. Thanks, pal.
It's his nature.
Killer sofa for the movie list.
Pull me in.
Pulls you in? All right. I understand. Well, listen, here's the question, and I want Bunny here to witness this, because I have considered doing a video game show again on this channel or a similar channel. And the first person I thought about was possibly bringing on Bukkake, making a deal with him that would allow him to make it worth his time. And I reach out to Tech and I say, I'm interested in this.
You should do the puzzle nights and get AI picture arts from Super Chats. Fun hanging out last night.
You goddamn right, Joker. That's on the docket. That's the plan, baby. Thank you, sir. And so thank you for being a member for 15 months. Very, very generous. Thanks, man. But Bunny, I want you here to actually be able to tell Tech Protect when he comes back home what Bukkake said, so he doesn't just not lying. Bukaki Tech Protect said to me when I expressed interest in at least exploring the idea of a show with you, he said, you said, I don't want to do a show with Jaffe. He takes up all the oxygen in the room. He talks too much, and I wouldn't really get to express myself. So I might want to do a show, Tech, but I don't want to do it with Jaffe. Now, that didn't sound like you for two reasons. One is I don't think that's been your history with me co-hosting when we've done it. And two, you don't use words like that. You would have said, shut up, motherfucker. Go suck a big fucking sloppy cunt, right? I mean, that... So my question is, was that your actual response to Tech? And if not, what was your response to Tech?
No. Well, he never brought up doing a show with you. He actually said me and him should do a show like later on where we play games and talk about shit. He didn't mention anything with you.
He never mentioned. Okay, so now this is interesting. He may be the first person I know to quit LCU, come to what he thinks is a job waiting for him, and be fired all in the same day. I can't believe he lied to me about that.
I mean, maybe he mentioned it, but I don't recall. Like, I don't know. Me and Tech are pretty cool, so I don't think he would pull something like that. But
okay.
Yeah, as far as I remember, he didn't mention doing a show with you at all.
If we did a show about video games that was when you were off the clock, would you have an interest in having that conversation?
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in having any conversation. Fucking absolutely.
Okay, just go talk to somebody else then. Any conversation. Jesus. All right, well, that's all I wanted to know. Thanks, Bukaki. I'll talk to you later. Enjoy your day, pal.
Later.
Bunny Button, what are you doing today before our big madhouse tonight? What's the plan?
Just planning a wedding, hanging out.
Planning a wedding? Whose wedding?
My wedding, Jaffe.
Oh, you have to plan your own wedding? I thought people did that for you.
No, that's rich people shit, Jaffe.
Oh, okay. Do you know how much our wedding cost? How much do you think an average wedding costs? I mean, this was a while ago, though. So
Lord.
Yeah, it's been a while. But how much do you think a wedding costs these days?
I think my sister's costed around $18,000, I think they said.
Oh, my God. Okay, I thought ours was $10K. Jordan in the chat says $20K. Da Vinci says 10. The Zeke says 5. DJ says $10K.
I think 20 is about average now because I think they went a little cheap on some stuff for my sisters. Yeah.
I want to look it up. What is average cost for? This is so dumb, you guys. This is so dumb. Rob, we should talk. I just thought you were busy coding. Oh my God, $33,000 for a wedding. Hang on. Average cost for home down payment, America. Yeah, I know it's 20%, but what is it roughly? So 54,000. The average was 54. So I mean, I want you to think about that. What are you people doing? What are you?
Imagine how much weed you could buy with that.
Is your sister still married? She is. She just had a baby, right?
Yeah.
And how long has she been married?
Like 2 years.
And she's still happy, I assume.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
The point is, though, why not just have a nice small? Again, do what you want to do. I don't give a fuck when you and Bukaki get married. It's your love. It's your life. But $33,000. I know I'm not the only one that sees it as a racket. It's clearly a fucking racket. But does it not bother people that it's a racket? Like, did your sister know it was a racket and all these people were making money? And it's like, but it's my big day. It's like, go to Disneyland if you want a big day. This is just about you and this guy saying we want to be together and saying that in front of our friends.
Yeah.
I mean, am I wrong here, or did she?
No,
did she regret paying that much money, or she's never said that she has?
Well, my stepdad and my mom paid for it, so I don't think she really gave a shit.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. Well, they must. They're living on the street now, and they probably don't care. Your sister's like, I got my wedding. All right, fair enough. All right. Well, Bunny, I'm going to just do a show. You're welcome to hang out and chat and shoot the shit. I don't want to bore you, but
I'm going to skedaddle.
All right, buddy.
A few things I got to do. But...
All right, I'll see you tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. Thanks, Bunny. All right, so we got another movie on the wheel. We got, what did we get? It was very generous. We got Ectoplasm says Killer Sofa for the movie list. You goddamn right. I've never seen it, but I know what it is. It's literally in the title. It is about a killer, sofa. And I'm going to put it on this wheel, and then it'll be on the next wheel as well, because we're already at 10, okay? So here we go. We are about to decide what the movie is. After this spin, whatever wins this will go up against Hereditary. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? The original Evil Dead. It's hard to beat. Shut up, Linda. It's hard to beat that one. All right, well, here we go. Here we go. Evil Dead versus Hereditary. I spelled it wrong. Hang on. And just for fun, I'll put in spin again. Here we go. Hold on to your butts. Two great movies, so you can't go wrong with either one of them. There we go. All right, so now, no, I will not get Eric to make a stop motion intro for Madhouse. Not when I can get AI to do it. So it's now going to be Hereditary, Shaun of the Dead, and Martyrs. We have one fun one and two very dark motion pictures. And then we're going to put Killer Sofa back on the list for the next win. Okay, there we go. There we go. Speaking of, by the way, this is why, if anybody actually wanted a stop motion whatever, this is why you don't need to waste your fucking time anymore. And I'm sorry to say it. I want to show you this. This is, Google came out yesterday with their yearly conference or quarterly conference of all their new tools for AI. What I'm about to show you is fucking incredible. It's no longer just text to speech. It's text to video. It's text to video with dialogue. Watch this. Says creates motion, background sounds, character dialogue. Write a prompt and see your world come alive with audio. Here we go.
This ocean, it's a force, a wild, untamed might. And she commands your awe with every breaking light. This ocean, it's a force, a wild, untamed might. And she commands your awe.
I mean, imagine having a story. Imagine wanting to make a horror movie, and you just sit like a writer. I mean, in some ways, a lot of times people give lip service to writers in the movies. And they're like, oh, the writing is everything. We care about the writing. But truth be told, writers get treated like shit. They don't own their shit. Now, God damn it, I got ace hair in my mouth. Now, you could sit there as a writer and be like, I'm going to write my own fucking movie. I don't need to hire anyone. I don't need to answer to anyone. I don't need to jump through gatekeeper hoops. I can just write a movie and it comes to life. I don't know how that's not cool. I don't know how you don't love that. I'll show you one more example of it.
Well. Look at Rocker Matt. Moneybag motherfucker, thanks so damn much. $20. Gonna throw them up again for the next round. The Devil's Rejects, Deathgasm, and Trick or Treat.
All right, Rocker Matt, I'll put those on the wheel. Thank you so much for that generosity. He says, gonna throw them up again for the next round. Devil's Rejects, Deathgasm, Trick or Treat, 1986. Since there isn't a $15 donation, put Rejects on there twice. You got it, buddy. Absolutely. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, this is cool, and I get it. I know we're not going to kind of. I'm not going to debate with you the loss of jobs. We know that already. There's nothing about that that's good. But it's the way of the world. You go to Taco Bell, you have to, people have lost jobs to the AI. Same with McDonald's. I'm not saying it's okay, but it's the way of the world, baby. And we'll have to find a solve for people who get displaced, and I hope we do. I hope we're compassionate, but we probably won't be because, we're terrible. Trick or Treat, 1986. and then Deathgasm. All right, Rocker Matt. Thank you, buddy. All right. Yeah, Bunny's, they're saying Bunny's favorite movie is Killer Clowns. I've never seen it. Never fucking seen it. Blind Eye says, this is why I love this. I'm a filmmaker and using AI as a tool is perfect for me who doesn't have the funds, crews, actors, etc. Right? It's all about storytelling. It's all about, it's all about, you know, expressing the vision of a group of people or one person. Use whatever tools you can to do that. Ravno says, oh, the way of the world, racism's not bad. It's the way of the world. That's not my point. My point is you're not going to, all you're doing is virtue signaling against AI if all you do is bitch about it on the internet and then go to Taco Bell or whatever. But the fact is, you know, and I know that this is coming. You know, and I know that unless capitalism gets overthrown or burns itself out, and a lot of people say it's going to, we're in late stage capitalism, unless those things happen, this is coming. And instead of just bitching about it, if you really care about it, then figure out a way to put effort into how do we make sure people have jobs when all this comes down. That's an important thing to take on. Is universal base income a real thing that can work? And if so, how do we continue to move that ball down the field? AI isn't going to clean the Taco Bell toilets. You're actually wrong. We showed this yesterday. AI robot clean bathrooms. I saw this yesterday. Here it is right here. So again, you're just simply incorrect. Here is an AI/robot coming in and cleaning the bathroom. Seems pretty good to me. Seems pretty good to me. David K says they took my job. Those sons of bitches. Those sons of bitches. You guys want Glammy to join the Jaffe network? Keem treats are like crap. Well, I mean, look, I like Glammy a very large amount as a person. I don't know what kind of show, like I would need to, and again, she's staying over there. I wouldn't want to poach anybody from over there. And I probably wouldn't have anything as good to offer anybody right now from over there. But honestly, I would look to Glammy if I was, and if you don't know Glammy, she's like a host that keeps getting fired and kicked around at different shows. Oh shit. Yeah. Canty, time to get some robots. Canty's like, God damn it. Yeah, it's a great question. I wonder if that's affecting her business. Maybe not yet, but it will. But honestly, I would sit with Glammy and say, what do you like? Like, is she into pop culture? Is she into TMZ shit? Is she into celebrity gossip? Is she into music? Like, you know, I get the joke. You put somebody who sucks at tech on a show that's about tech and it's funny. But, you know, fundamentally, I don't know. I don't know what she's really passionate about. So I think that has to come first. Speaking of, Ricky says, reminds me of the AI waitresses in restaurants. Speaking of, I just want to look at some clips of people in restaurants. Police teach entitled 21-year-olds they don't make the rules. I have not watched this yet. I would never nick somebody. I made a deal with Keemstar, and again, nobody would leave that network for this network yet. Except Tech, but he's not playing with a full deck. I don't know what this is going to happen. I may hate this video, but it may be amazing. So we'll watch it together. She wanted to do all the gaming news you got bored with. Yeah, but what experience does she have in video games? Like, what does she bring to the table in that world? I love pop culture and celebs, says Thick Gemini, the drama and the tea. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. All right, let's watch this. Fat Joe says, Jaffe, you're a good-looking man. Thank you, Fat Joe. I don't really think I'm a good-looking man, but that's a nice thing to hear to start your day. I appreciate it. Very kind, very generous. Thank you for the super chat. All right. Let's watch this. Maybe. Maybe not. What's going on? What is happening? I think the stream's still going. Josh says, as a straight male, I agree. You're a good-looking man. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, this just doesn't want to load, but I think the stream is still going. Let's see if we can try to get it again. Maybe this is the video the cops don't want you to see. Oh, they got rid of it. They took it down. Probably. Let's see what's going on. I think this still works. My internet's still good. What the fuck? Oh, it's a tunnel. That's cool. Okay, I guess we're not going to get to watch that specific video for whatever reason. It's just not up anymore. All right, well, we'll move on. You guys heard about this. This happened a couple days ago. Guy blows up himself in front of an IVF clinic. He's a pro-mortalist. You heard of pro-mortalism? I have not. I've heard of anti-natalism, where people don't want to have babies because they think that having a baby is kind of like a bad thing, that, you don't want to bring somebody into the world because the world is shit, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I've heard that. But this is apparently like just thinking all life is bad. Suspect's father says his son was brainwashed from spending time online, subscribing to ideology that promotes the devaluation of life. He appeared to subscribe to an ideology that humans should cease to exist to prevent future suffering, and that having children is fundamentally immoral because they could not consent to being born. I mean, I don't believe in what he did, although he only took his own life, but he probably should have done that in a way that wasn't going to run the risk of harming anyone else. Thank God no one else died. But he's kind of got a point, right? I'm not saying I agree with his actions, but I think it's a hard argument to lose when you say, hang on, I gotta sneeze. When you say, well, babies don't consent to being born, and life is a lot of suffering, and people cause a lot of suffering. So I would argue, of course, that we have to go through this to evolve into the people that will not only not cause suffering, but will be able to populate the universe as a species and help others reduce their suffering. But his take is, I don't think we're ever going to get there. I think life is useless. And again, I think that's great, but you shouldn't put it on other people. But I don't like this bullshit. Pro-mortalism is a twisted belief system that is anti-life, says Brian Levin, the founder of the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism at California University, San Bernardino. The philosophy itself is dangerous because it promotes the devaluation of life. I don't think any philosophy can be dangerous. I think it's a valid take on existence. The guy left behind a recording. He says, I figured I would just make a recording explaining why I decided to bomb this place. Here's what he says.
So basically I'm anti-life, right? And IVF is like kind of the epitome of pro-life.
Hang on.
So basically I'm anti-life, right? And IVF is like kind of the epitome of pro-life ideology, right? So yeah, IVF clinics, and the people that work for them, quite frankly. Ignorance is not really an excuse.
So obviously I don't agree with this bullshit. I agree with the fact that his philosophy is as valid a take. It's a pretty valid take. I don't believe in it. I like life, and I agree with Lou in the chat who says life can be heaven or hell. It's up to us to decide. Kind of. I mean, some people are in circumstances where they don't have that choice or the awareness they have that choice, but I understand your point and I agree. But he says, if I hated life, I'd just off myself. Right. 100%. 100%. But that said, though, this is not the way to go about it, but, whatever. Let me play one more clip. Here we go.
Okay, so I figured I would just make a recording explaining why I've decided to bomb an IVF building or clinic. Basically, it just comes down to I'm angry that I exist, and that, nobody got my consent to bring me here. And I know what you're going to say. How could we have got your consent because you didn't exist, blah, blah, blah. Exactly the point. There's no way you can get consent to bring someone here, so don't do it, right?
He says he compares being born to the act of being born to raping an unconscious woman. He compared life to slavery to a DNA molecule, declared himself sickened by so much wasted suffering. These are great points. When you see innocent creatures getting completely fucked by life, I'm not just talking humans, but even animals. How the hell can you sit there and call that an intelligent design, said the 25-year-old, who was a vegan and seemingly used the name Indite Evolution online. Here's another one. I like these clips. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah, Gaz says he sounds so normal. Yeah, I agree. Everybody agrees. Don't hurt others. That was a really dumb thing because he doesn't have a right to push his philosophy on everyone else. And he probably would say, well, you didn't have a right to make me alive. Okay, fine. But you know what? You don't have to continue the suffering that you claim to be against. But that said, though, he's making some good points.
I'm just saying pro-mortalism can make people think that, like, you're, like, some kind of sadist or something who wants to, like, cause death, destruction, and whatnot. And it's like, no, that's not the case. I know you're going to think, how ironic, because I'm causing destruction and possibly death. And it's like, I'm only doing this because I feel like it's what I have to do to get people's attention and to let the world know, like, yes, I'm serious about this. You have to take this seriously.
Okay. The FBI said the explosion, which took place 11 a.m., was the largest bombing ever in Southern California.
Right. All a pro-mortalist is saying is like, hey, let's make the death thing happen sooner rather than later in life, right? We're just changing the date at which it happened. That's all we're trying to do, right? But you recognize that, once you exist, death is a guarantee, right? It's going to happen. So the pro-mortalist isn't making a death happen. That's a way to think about it. That's a dishonest and untruthful way to think about it, right? The truth is the parents are the ones making the death happen, right?
The online cult is an offshoot of antinatalism, a belief it's always immoral to have kids. There's a glorification of the dark side of the world, and this blends into a nihilistic viewpoint, says this guy at the Professor Levin, on the dark side of the dark web. It's not, okay, again, no one who's listening to this should think I advocate this, or that I even believe this, or I think his actions were noble and right and good. They're not. But his philosophy is sound, and you know what we would do really good with in our culture is being able to blame this guy's horrible actions without having to paint him as a cartoon mustache twirling villain. This is not dark side, dark web stuff. It is a college 101 level philosophy about why are we alive? What is the value of life? What is the point? Levin goes on to say, we look at multiple examples of young males 17 to 25 who lash out against what they see as a degrading world. Sometimes it's done to stand for racial supremacy or nationalism. Okay, but you're just muddying the waters.
Life itself really is just, it's a big drug addiction, right? It's just chasing absolute nonsense. And I've pretty much seen this since I was a kid. I've pretty much known it since I was a kid. As a kid, I wasn't able to put words to it, but some part of my brain kind of understood it, right? Because I really wasn't very interested in anything. I really didn't want much, And as I've gotten older and older, more aware, I started to realize, like, oh, this is a really nasty game. This life on Earth game is really nasty,
Okay, so in the chat, Avoid the Void says he literally attempted mass murder. Yes, and that's terrible. It's terrible. His actions, I don't have a problem if he wanted to off himself, but he shouldn't have risked anybody else's health. And even if his point was, if I hadn't have done it like this, no one would have been paying attention to me. I would just be another, person who offed themselves. That I don't agree with. Ravno says, you should not say they have good points, dude. Why? He does have good points. Not all of them, not where he's justifying his actions, but the philosophy he's espousing. And then, okay. Okay. It's kind of right. He's not so right that I don't love life, but I'm lucky. I'm grateful because I was born to parents that did what they did to make me feel that life was worth living, that put me in situations, that sacrificed so I could have opportunities, so I could have a life that I didn't feel was nothing but suffering. But not everybody has that. So I'm not going to sit there and judge somebody for that and thinking that that is life. But I will say that his actions were, to me, totally unacceptable. Again, Peachy Pie says, am I communicating poorly? I think I'm a relatively decent communicator. Peachy Pie says, did anyone consent to being murdered? No. And that was a terrible thing he did. Why is this hard? Why is it? What is wrong with us? No. Let me rephrase it. What is wrong with you? I'm not saying what he did was good. Am I ones in the chat if I am being crystal clear on this, or twos if you think I'm not explaining myself well? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So most of you guys get it, which is good. The ones who think it's a 2 probably can't find the 2 on the keyboard. Anyway, I want to play a few more clips. So I got one more clip from this guy. I think this is interesting.
Life itself really is just, it's a big drug addiction, right? It's just chasing absolute nonsense. And I've pretty much seen this since I was a kid. I've pretty much known it since I was a kid. As a kid, I wasn't able to put words to it, but some part of my brain kind of understood it, right? Because I really wasn't very interested in anything. I really didn't want much, and as I've gotten older and older, more aware, I've started to realize, like, oh, this is a really nasty game. This Life on Earth game is...
Oh, I think I already played that one. Sorry. Yeah, and clearly there is some, he had some issues where it's like in September when he was 9, he said the son was placed on juvenile probation after lighting the family home on fire, playing with matches. Okay, Peachy Pie, I apologize. Gotcha. But I just think it's not that simple. Mental health is not that simple. And society defines what normal is based on what society wants from us. And so the idea that, this guy just needed therapy, maybe he did. Maybe he needed therapy. But when some people say that, they mean he needed therapy so he could be turned normal and removed of this bad philosophy. Him blowing himself up is bad when it hurts others. Him playing with matches and burning down places is bad. Okay? If he's suffering from schizophrenia or depression, ideally there's opportunities to work on that. But I think one of the reasons we're in a real problem and why we are seeing more and more crazy, and it's kind of the same with the kitty diddling shit. The kitty, you can't even bring it up. You can't bring it up as a dilemma and a problem that doesn't seem to go away, that potentially, depending on the news source you go to, seems to get worse because it's just so taboo. And it's like, the more you make it taboo, or the more you say this, the more you don't allow yourself to say the guy's message is worth discussing, even though his actions are totally unacceptable in relation to this guy who blew himself up, not kid diddlers. The more you do that, the more you just shove these really worrying behaviors, and in some cases clearly horrific behaviors, into a hole, and they just continue to fester. And maybe because of the internet, the people who are festering these beliefs can now find other festerers or festerer enjoyers. I don't know what you call them. And now we're starting to see the crazy bubble up more and more and more. I don't know, man. I would suggest that we stop knee-jerking and say, oh, you shouldn't be talking about this. We shouldn't be talking about this. Jaffe, don't mention that on the show. Why not? Why the fuck not? The message says Ravnos is idiotic. It's a 1 + 1 = 50. No, it's not idiotic. The idea that life itself, existence, is often a struggle. Even if you have money and privilege, we have disease, we have mental disease, we have tragedies, we have failures. And you could say, yes, but those are the things that bring us the best thing when we go. Fine, for you. But there's a lot of people that don't agree with you. Their flip says the issue I see is people who face similar issues to this guy might take the basic, oh, some of his points are right to this guy wasn't a bad guy and maybe I should consider what he's saying. Well, maybe you should consider what he's saying. I wouldn't, but this is what I'm saying. I don't want to trigger anyone, and I don't want anyone to do any harm to themselves. But the idea that we have been so conditioned by the culture that you can't even examine it and go, well, maybe in some cases it is the best thing. Now, I've seen people who were chronically depressed for decades, and I started to think maybe that person would be better off because they're in so much suffering. And thank God they didn't, because they actually stuck around and they've built a wonderful life for themselves with the right chemicals and the right talk therapy. But the idea, though, that I'm serious, you guys. It's one thing to say, if you want to push back on this philosophy and say this philosophy is bad at a philosophical level because X, Y, Z, I think that's great. Let's have that discussion. I would love to hear it. If you want to push back on this philosophy just because, well, that's dangerous. Well, sometimes the best philosophy is dangerous because it forces you to open up your mind to the fact that maybe you've been avoiding stuff that's painful and scary. Why should anyone be afraid of what they say out of fear that some maniac is going to hear what they say and take action? Well, I don't think they're worried that they're a maniac, Jed. I do think there is value in considering laying the groundwork if you click on a random YouTube channel and the person's just spouting this shit without going, this is one guy's opinion. Most people don't agree with it, but I absolutely think we can also take some of his good points. Like there's this book, which I want to read. I haven't read it yet. It's literally called Suicide Note. And it's from a very smart, educated guy who locked himself away for 3 years and tried and read everything he could and lived off the grid in order to really try to figure out the meaning of life. And he took the manuscript to the steps, I think it was Harvard or Oxford or whatever, and he blew his brains out. And if you read it, apparently, I haven't read it, but I've seen excerpts, he's kind of like this guy. He's like, I'm not mad. I'm not looking to hurt anybody, although this guy was. I just, after spending all this time researching, I've come to the conclusion that all of this is meaningless. And I'm doing this in front of everyone so I can get my message out there because a lot of people are suffering for no reason. I'm not going to do that. I enjoy my life, but shame on me for assuming everybody has had the privileges and the, not just financial privileges or parental privileges, but the brain chemistry privileges that I'm able to think through issues. I'm able to have enough self-awareness that when I'm sad or depressed, I can go, oh, this isn't really you. It is you, but you also are this thing above this. You're the observer of your experience. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that. Did I see Tech Protect in the chat? Tech, are you here? Come on the show. Let's talk about your exit. This was news to me. This was news to Bunny at the beginning of the day. And I'm gonna talk to him. All right, well, there you go. We'll keep going. We'll do, like I said, this is Up with Jaffe, which means we are going to come across what we come across. Sometimes it's going to be goofy and fun. Sometimes it's going to be, kind of serious like what we just talked about. Yeah, Tech is no longer with the LCU. If he is around still, I'd love to bring him in, let him tell his own story. But in the meantime, I'll give him a few minutes to see if he's around. In the meantime, though, remember yesterday we were looking at that Google V3 and talking about how I couldn't tell and a lot of you guys couldn't tell the difference between the AI that we were seeing of Zuckerberg and that Theo Von whatever podcast guy. And it turned out that that wasn't true. It was like, no, that was actual footage, or at least heavily fed into the AI footage to output what they sent us. But this is actual. And people were like, see, Jaffe, you shouldn't have fallen for it. Why would I not fallen for it? Because it looks so fucking real. Here's some examples that are actually real. AI, street interview. I'll just show you like 2 of these. This is amazing. I wouldn't know this was AI, would you?
With AI that makes haters go crazy every time.
Oh, y'all gotta give him that. This is wild. It's over. We are cooked on that thread. You get me?
What's one move with AI that makes haters go crazy every time?
Maybe his eyes are a little off because he's not directly looking at her. That seems a little strange. You think the hands? Let's see.
We are cooked on that thread. You get me?
What's one move with AI that makes haters go crazy every time?
Oh, y'all gotta give him that. This is wild. It's over. We are cooked on that thread.
The hands look okay. Her mouth. Let me see your mouth.
What's one move with AI that makes haters go crazy every time?
Oh, y'all gotta give him that. This is wild. It's over. We are cooked on that thread.
Okay, so, I mean, if you, and maybe you're right. Well, I know what she said makes no sense. Here's another one. Now, this apparently is comedy that I believe the AI wrote the joke. But if this is where we are right now, okay, so I don't think we're always, it won't be long before we can't tell. I don't know. What do you think of this one?
It was one dog. It was a Shih Tzu. So I went to the zoo the other day, and all they had was one dog. It was a Shih Tzu. So I went to the zoo.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Look at this. Now talk about, look at this.
I want no bullshit.
I mean, if I would, again, I always talk about this because I wanted to make movies when I was a kid. If I was a fucking kid and I had this over the summer, and I can make my own fucking Michael Bay action fucking movie. Look at this. This is all AI.
When we get in there, I want no bullshit. You stay on my 6 at all times.
Now, before I go on, ask yourself this. If you're Activision and you're making the fucking cutscenes for the next Call of Duty or the next Call of Duty season, why would you not use this?
Stay sharp. These fuckers are nasty and dangerous. Stay alert. What the hell happened here? Where are the bodies?
That was weird. I mean, you know, that's pretty good. Yeah, I know it's not perfect yet. If you're let's put it this way. If you're looking at this stuff and you think the issues are that minor, we're almost there. I mean, this is cool, man.
Chuck could chuck wood.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
How much wood would a woodchuck...
Come on, man. Come on, man. That shit's cool. Anyway. Tech, are you there? Come into the chat. Let's talk about your very eventful morning. The chat's asking questions that I can make shit up and answer, but I don't fucking know. Look at this. Look at this lady. She's not nice. Jealous girl smacks her boyfriend twice and tells him to go after the other woman. All right, let's see what she's all about. Maybe she's got a good point. I haven't watched this yet.
Go get her then. Kiss her. Get off of me. Get off of me. Get off of me.
I thought y'all was about to kiss.
Go get her then.
Oh, yeah, she's got a good point. I at first thought she was going to be one of these like crazy women on the internet who's just, go fucking date her then. I got that. He does that. He goes to jail. Well, he should go to jail. I mean, I'm not saying that she shouldn't go to jail either if he decides to press charges. And I imagine there are a lot of cops that are there that if they were watching, they would say, yeah, you broke the law. You're going to jail. But I don't think she should go to jail if he doesn't press charges. If he's like, what the fuck, you're abusing me. Again, guys, I know it's assault. I'm not saying that she had a right to do it legally. And I'm not saying if he were to prosecute or ask the cops to arrest her, then he would be in the wrong. But frankly, though, when you've got a guy that big getting punched by this lady and it doesn't really bother him, I'm totally fine if he decides not to press charges. Now, if he punches her because she's so much smaller, that's, I would take issue because she clearly is not fit for that fight. And I'll tell you something, when I showed a video on the stream a couple of months ago, which was this woman, it was a woman punched in bar face. I don't know if I can find this instantly, but it was just this woman, woman dies after being punched at a bar. Interesting.
But first, a woman dies after being punched by a man at a local bar. And tonight we are getting our first look at surveillance video showing what led up to that punch. Police say the incident happened.
So this isn't the one I was talking about, but let's see.
Rolls in the face and knocked her right down.
Police say it was 35-year-old Michael Lamoth who took her life. You can see in surveillance video Lamoth wrapping his arms around Yost. Police say he then grabbed her breasts.
He came into the bar. He wrapped his arms around her. Nobody knew who he was.
Once customers yelled at Lamoth to leave, you can see he then punches a man. The two continue to fight on the ground. Yost, with a cigarette in hand, tells them to stop. Customers thought it was over until Lamoth returned. You can see Yost trying to hold the door closed to keep Lamoth from coming inside. But within seconds, police say Lamoth punched her. The video, too graphic to show.
He walked outside and he turned around and came back in and he punched her in the face so hard. Is she bleeding? She at the back of her head. She hit some concrete floor.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely terrible, of course. But again, when I showed a video similar a while ago, people were like, well, she shouldn't have, it's equal rights, equal fights and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, there is the legality of it that no one's going to disagree with. And then there is the issue, I think, of going, well, wait a minute. If you're a bigger person and you clearly can take somebody out, don't be an asshole. It doesn't mean legally that guy wasn't in his right that we showed earlier to press charges. Sure he was. Not that guy. That's Steven Spielberg. That doesn't make any sense. Sure he was. But, I don't know. I think there's a little bit of a wiggle room there that, proportional force. Right. When you weigh over 100 pounds, it's not equal rights, equal fights. That's exactly right. 100%. And I just think it's really dumb for men to hit women, frankly. Now, if you're a little dude, like the little dude in the bagel store and the woman's a bodybuilder and you feel threatened, okay, we're talking about something different. But, let's put it, a normal-sized man against an equally normal-sized woman. Come on, man. What's the matter with you? What are you talking about? Look at this. Look at this idiot. We can all agree, though, this guy's an idiot, right? This guy, teen sets off firework in public transport. Let's check it out. What a moron.
It's not popping. It's not popping. You fucking idiot!
Zeke says women should not hit men either. Of course. But can't we agree we're talking about different things? Right? We're talking about different things. We're talking about, of course, legally no one should hit anybody. And legally, if someone assaults somebody else, they should be held accountable, assuming the person that got hit anyway, or if cops were there, want to press charges. Those things can be true along with the fact that if you are a big person and you beat up on a smaller person, and it's not always, but it's usually a big dude and a smaller woman, then that's really fucking bad. And you shouldn't do it, regardless. This guy's just a fucking moron. I mean, I don't know. Of course, people are being racist. It's got nothing to do with... Jesus Christ, people. I just would like to know the story. What happened? A group of teenage boys allegedly set off fireworks in a crowded bus in Toronto. No injuries reported, but 2 adults were treated. The suspects, described as wearing masks and black hoodies, fled. Such acts are... How hard is it to find this guy? He's right there on camera. Jesus Christ. If a woman hit me, says Robo, I would probably hit back. The force of my hit would probably depend on the situation and the aggression of the other person. Well, okay, I mean, I hear you, but you're kind of saying, I don't know what you're saying. Are you saying if a woman punched you in the face, like that video we saw a minute ago where the woman punched the dude in the jaw twice, and you just kind of did like a little slap? If I wouldn't do it, but I could go, okay, well, if you're going to hit me, I'll hit you back. But I wouldn't support it, but I would understand, all right, okay. But anything else beyond that, in that case, I would say that's a bridge too far. And you may agree. I'm not sure what your specifics or where your line is. No, I don't agree, AAA. If a woman is striking you in the face, it's fair game. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it simply absolutely is not. Can I come up with some edge cases? Sure. But the vast majority of times, no, it's not. Yeah, but see, Ravnos, you have a very specific scenario. Like I said, there are anecdotal cases. He says, I've been punched in the face by a boy. You were 15 and you did not hit back. His dad then smacked my head into the concrete because when he hit me, he shattered his wrist and arm. Well, both of those motherfuckers need to have their ass thrown in fucking jail, is what I would say. Tech protect. What the people demand to know what the fuck is going on.
Well, as they're probably aware.
Where's the camera? Do we have a camera? What is happening? Are you the dentist?
There's my.
There we go.
Hello.
All right. Did somebody punch you?
Why?
You look like you got knocked out.
No, I'm just sad.
Why are you sad? Let's be clear before any of this gets too detailed. I didn't ask you. I said to you, if you want to go over there full time, I would support you. Did I not say that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you sad about? You made a what made you wake up today and decide to make this choice? Because we didn't push you to make it. We're glad you made it. But if you're sad, I'm sure Keemstar will take you back. But what's the problem? What is going on?
It was the best choice for my family.
Oh my God. Tiny Taco says, LOL, Tech is kicking his little feetsies. He'll probably ask for uppies soon. You better be careful. The best, okay, I mean, I whatever kind of things motivate you, those are your things. I'm glad you're going to come work with me and Bunny permanently, but, you know, I've always said I wanted the best for you. I want you to make as much money as you can. You know, what was the motivator? Pompich, thank you for the super chat. He says, stop doing that with your feet, please. Can you articulate or expand?
Well, we'll talk about it more on Madhouse later tonight at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST. Well, we will have a question and answer section at the end of the show. You can come in and we'll explore the idea. For right now, I just want to let it sit, let it settle. And then, you know, we'll chat more later today. Make sure to tune in to Madhouse again, 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST.
Okay, wait a minute, though. First off, Pompich, thank you for the super chat, says, it's good to have Tech back here. Agree. But then, Dizzy says, poor Tech. For what? I didn't fire him. Keem didn't fire him. I didn't say he had to come over here or he was fired. None of that happened.
No, they're talking about my tax bracket, Jaffe. Tech is impoverished, which means donate to the stream, help Tech out. I got fired from one show 2 days ago, fired from this show today. Here we are.
Well, this will be the best move you've ever made in your career. But that said, though, you know, nobody wants you to be unhappy. If you're gonna, let's put it this way: if you're gonna come over here and be all mopey mope, and I know this just happened, so I know that's not the plan. Then it's another reason I would prefer you stay over there. Nobody wants you to be unhappy.
I'll be a happy little guy starting tomorrow. It'll be fine.
All right. Well, can Tech explain now? I'll be asleep for Madhouse. He doesn't want to explain right now. I think he wants to process right now, and then after that he'll be here tonight, and I'll recap it for you tomorrow on tomorrow's show or something. Ricky says you did the right call, Tech. Let's try to make Tech feel a little better, only if we're giving him true advice. I could also send Tech the voice memos of that guy who blew himself up. That might make him realize really that life is shit. I don't know.
Who blew himself up?
This not anti-natalist, but anti-lifer. I guess they're called. I don't know what it's called. A pro-mortalist is what he's called. A pro-mortalist.
Hey, Dad.
Oh, where are you on the chat, Sarah? Why do I hear you?
Mooch has just donated $5 through Super Chat. Thanks, pal.
I just checked them.
I was an LCU OG, but I unsubbed almost every channel due to content.
Yeah, oh, you don't need my permission.
Be glad you got out of the LC.
What happened?
Sarah needs you right now. I'll talk to you later on today, Tech. Just give me a call. But by the way, Sarah, let me know if you want me to send you some DoorDash right now. I can do that too.
She says on God?
On gone?
On God. Like, oh, for real?
Yeah, like it's not a problem. I just got to pick up my chat.
Okay, go do that. But if you want me to get you some DoorDash, let me know that too, okay?
DoorDash would be fantastic.
All right. Send me a DM or a text with what you want. What does on God mean? I've never heard that.
Like for real? Like, do you swear?
I don't believe I don't believe in God, but I would never lie to my child. Never lied to her once. I've only lied to Calvin once in his life, and that was a good lie.
Was it a bad hair day?
No, it was. I was taking them both to Disneyland, and Calvin suddenly came down with like a fever, and he was really upset that I was going to take Sarah. And I said, no, I'm not taking her to Disneyland. I'm taking her to a tutor after school or something like that. But short of that, I've never lied to either one of my kids. Tech literally said on Aussie months ago he had a 6-figure bank account. Was that just jokes? He used to have a 6-figure bank account. Yeah. And then he kind of lost his fucking mind. And I think you said you gave a lot of it away or something.
I gave like, I pocketed like $30K. This was like last year in April. I pocketed $30K and I've been living off $30K for like a year now.
Well, and I pay you.
Well, now I get paid. So,
but you gave away a lot of money.
Yeah,
right.
Over 6 figures. Yeah. Well, not 7 figures, but within the 6 figures range, I should say. I clarify.
The real YouTube Shadow says Madhouse viewership dropped drastically. I don't know what you're talking about. I can tell you the money's up over there, but what do you mean it dropped drastically? We're doing another show tonight. I love that Jaffe's buying food for his kid, says Bubby. My dad is like that too. I'm a full-grown adult. It's probably it's they're your babies. They're your goddamn babies. You'll love them forever and ever and ever. Forever ever. All right, hang on a second. Let me see if I got Sarah's message yet. Not yet, but I will. Where'd the rest go? Oh, of his money? I don't fucking know. I think he gave it away to people. You have to,
to charity and family.
There you go. Well, see, yeah, you got to be careful. But that said, yes, we're all very excited you're back and also curious to hear why you are back, especially when Aussie, you are no longer on, so you could have been doing the whole Madhouse show. But we'll have a conversation about it this evening. How about that?
This evening, 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST. Tune in to Tune in to Jaffe's Madhouse later today.
I don't think it's called Jaffe's Madhouse.
It's Jaffe's Madhouse.
Is Chick-fil-A still homophobic?
It's super homophobic. Oh, but I got to show you something. Look, you do your own research. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't eat, kid, but you guys get what you want. But I want to show you something real quick while you're deciding what you want to eat. This thing's incredible. Hang on.
Chick-fil-A built an AI bot to identify gay chickens to not consume the gay chicken.
Not that.
Oh.
Sorry. Why is there a whole... What's that vending?
Look at
this. Are you looking at the dog's nipple?
There's a nipple?
Yeah.
Look at this. Okay, we are doing a show, you know. Look at this.
Hey, did someone order some chicken? Damn slope.
This is they're trying this out in Atlanta now. This is amazing.
Some Chick-fil-A. Yeah, just go ahead, scan that, and we're beep boop beep bop. All right, yeah, it's confirmed. All right, so you can reach into my
now
tummy, it's crazy.
I don't know if this is actually the voice or not, or if this is the guy making the Instagram. But
yeah, it's the guy holding the camera, Jaffe. Come on.
No, he's not talking.
It's bullshit. Yeah,
Okay, so no, that's not because he said bullshit. But no, this is pretty amazing.
Shitty chicken. Get this over with, man. All right, yeah, drink 2. Okay, you can step over here. You can take a shitty picture. Click. Yeah, shitty Dave picture. Great. All right, if you got some 9-volt batteries, some AA, AAAs, throw it in. Come on, don't be nimble. You son of a...
Nimble?
God damn it. Okay, thanks for not tipping. You guys suck. All right, I'm out of here. When the robot revolution hits, I'm killing y'all both. All right? Suck on my exhaust pipe. Actually, I'm all electric, so that doesn't even make sense.
But that's pretty fucking cool. That's pretty fucking cool, though. Tyler says it's powered by anti-trans bigotry. True. But I'm not talking about the morality of the company. I'm just talking about the fact that, there's one more thing that is going to be taking jobs, but making everybody. Why is this, Ravnos? You are just such a miserable asshole. Why is this amazing? He says, if I see one, I'm tipping it over. Why is it amazing? Because because technologically speaking, it's super fucking cool. is A. B, it's amazing because it makes things faster and more convenient. That's cool. And it's just one more step towards maybe automation making people's lives hopefully better. Hopefully better. Oh, Ravnos, you're either trolling, in which case shut up, and if you're not, you're just a miserable fuck who really, you sound like you're 80 years old and you want no progress and you want no cool future shit. Good God. That was in Atlanta, by the way, not just China and Japan, damn you kids. That was in Atlanta. So it's rolling out. All right. Well, look, it's noon here in California. I am going to go prep for a Madhouse tonight. Let me just, what is your question? Response to your question? Jaffe, what if a trans woman strikes you? What do you do then? I don't understand the question. Are you saying that what I have said over and over and over is it is not about okay, legality aside, because I've already answered that question. If someone bigger than you strikes you and they're a threat to you, no matter their gender, you're in a real fight. You fight back. If someone, whether they are man, woman, trans woman, non-binary, whatever they are, strikes you and they clearly are littler and no real threat, you may, give them a really aggressive shove. Somebody was saying maybe a slap, but anything beyond that, even though, yes, you could legally argue it as self-defense, is a pretty dick move. It's a pretty fucking, it's a pretty dick move is what I would say. All right. Well, that's different though. Damn you kid says, if you hit someone, expect to be hit back regardless of size or gender. Yeah, you should expect to be hit back, but I think we're talking more from the perspective of if you get hit, what is the appropriate response that you should express is kind of the idea. But that's what I would say. Your mileage can and should vary. Okay, so as a reminder, we now have 3 movies for Saturday's 12-hour Canty movie stream. Martyrs, Shaun of the Dead, and now Hereditary. We have 2 more slots. Tonight's Gabbin' and Games, hopefully we'll fill in one of them. Right now we've got Killer Sofa, 2 votes for The Devil's Rejects, 1 for Trick or Treat 1986, 1 for Deathgasm. But we will see who ends up as the winner of the wheel. There you go. That's the show, folks. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the conversations, the calls, the information. We'll get some more information on tech later tonight. And in the meantime, that has been Up with Jaffe. I will see you guys hopefully 6 o'clock tonight. If not, we'll be back. Actually, I won't be back tomorrow morning with this show. There will be no morning show tomorrow because I am going to be on Colin Moriarty, Last Stand Media's Constellation. But there will be a Madhouse tomorrow night, 6 o'clock as well. So we'll see you tonight, tomorrow night, or I'll hopefully see you at the film festival this weekend. In the meantime, be well, be safe, and seriously, you guys, thank you for all of the wonderful support. It is very much, appreciated, you guys. Let me find my little screen here. All right. Be well, you guys. Thanks all.